Welcome to another chat with a 30-day comprehensible input challenge champion. And they are all champions because anybody who can sit through 10 hours of me deserves a medal. So what is it? It's 10 hours of me telling 30 stories, and they're about 20 minutes each. And I'm using pictures and gestures and funny faces and noises so you can follow along with the story. But the point is, if you can follow along with the story, then technically it is comprehensible input. And Krashen's input hypothesis and automatic language growth will tell you that comprehensible input is all you need to acquire a language. Now, usually 10 hours of CI, 10 hours of comprehensible input wouldn't really be enough to feel a difference. But I'm telling you these stories in a tiny constructed language called Toki Pona, which has only 120 words. And so that makes it an ideal language to use for this experiment. So that's the challenge. Watch one video a day for 30 days and see what happens. If you want to go and find the videos, all you need to do is go over to YouTube and search for the abbreviation OPETP, which stands for Opiline Toki Pona. That's the name of the video series. So go and check that out if you want. But in these chats, we're going to talk to people who have actually watched all 30 videos and done nothing else and see how much they've acquired of Toki Pona through pure comprehensible input. That's exciting, isn't it? I think it's exciting anyway. So in this conversation, I am joined by Andre. Welcome, Andre.
Thank you for having me, Joel.
Thank you for coming. And thank you for sitting through all the videos.
Yeah, they were great, man. They were great. Really well made.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So before we try and have a conversation in Toki Pona, I think it would be interesting to get an idea of your background with languages, what languages you already speak, and maybe things you've done in the past to learn languages. Yeah, what's your story?
Yeah, certainly. I'm from California, San Diego, and I went through the public school system. And so in order to enter university, you have to study a foreign language for about 2 years, I think, the last time I was there. And so, of course, we're so close to Mexico, I chose Spanish, but I was a high school student, so not a whole lot of it was really important to me at that moment, in life. So unfortunately, that's maybe something to do later on, is to go back to that. But I tried Spanish a little bit, and then in college, I studied Japanese for about a year. And eventually, after graduating, I moved to Japan. So currently, I'm a native born English speaker, but I also can speak some Japanese, and I'm working on Toki Pona.
So what's your level in Japanese, would you say?
So there's most people who study Japanese are probably aware of the JLPT. That's the Japanese language proficiency test. It's kind of like the TOEIC, I suppose, or like the standard for how well you speak a language. And in this case, it's Japanese. And there's 5 levels, 5 being the lowest, 1 being the highest. And so I've passed the third, and I've failed the second 3 times.
Oh.
So that's it's totally my fault. It's just, like I'm waiting until it's like 2 months before the test, and I'm trying to cram as much grammar in my head as I can, and I'm not, doing it well enough. But I still kind of study Japanese. I still try to get a little bit better each day. So eventually, if I get the motivation, I'll take it again, and I'll pass the second level. But the third level pretty much represents daily conversations. I can handle, speaking with friends. I can handle going out to the supermarket. I can handle enough to get an apartment, to get a phone contract, to do my own conversations at a clinic or a dentist. Like, that's about my level. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough, I would say.
Okay. So on the CFR scale, would that be roughly equivalent to like B2 C1?
Maybe, but certainly not when it comes to reading.
Sure, that's a different thing.
I think when it comes to reading, it's a different thing. When it comes to speaking, and especially speaking in a conversation, it's much higher. So yeah,
Right. Okay. Got it. So you're probably like in like C1-ish for speaking,
possibly.
but
Yeah,
Japanese writing is crazy difficult.
it is. It
Hats
is.
off to anybody who tries it.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
Yeah. Okay. So good. In California, I'm sorry, this is because I'm personally curious.
Yeah, man.
In California, when you were in high school,
Yeah.
what kind of teaching technique did they use in your Spanish class? Did they use a storytelling approach?
Nah. I remember we had a book and we had a workbook, and I sometimes did that. Most of the time, I don't know. I admit, like honestly, I was not a good student. So I can't really like fault the public education system for failing me. I just was not that great of a student.
That's fine.
So, but
Yeah.
it certainly wasn't like CI. It
Right.
wasn't
Gotcha.
TPRS. It wasn't
Okay.
ALG. It was none of that. It was kind of like, all right, here's like the grammar. Let's practice that. Like I mean the three P's, I think is closest to what it is. A lot of like let's do the conjugations. Um, I remember our teacher playing Finding Nemo in Spanish like 3 times a year. And it was like her chance to like, she would play it in the class and then she would go off to her desk and maybe like work on something or catch up on sleep. That
Mm.
was the closest thing to like, I guess, some sort of natural input.
So
Most of it though was just like grammar workbook exercises.
yeah, I mean, I'm no expert, but there's like movie talk in CPRS.
Yeah,
It would
that's
have been
right.
nice if she had just taken a scene out of Finding Nemo and talked about it,
Sure.
made sure you understood what's going on, and yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Thanks for that. So,
Yeah.
the 30-day comprehensible input challenge, why did you do it? Who put you up to it?
Okay. Yeah, so I mean you kind of already know.
I do.
But I currently work at a language school here in Japan. And so at our language school, our methodologies kind of fall under the umbrella of CI. So we do a lot of TPRS, a lot of movie talk, and a little bit of ALG. And so my boss chanced upon your videos. I forgot how, but he chanced upon your videos and I thought, and he felt that it would be uh, a good experience for us to go do the 30-day challenge. Um, One big reason is to put us in the position of the students that we are teaching. So if we're using methodologies, if we're not translating everything, we're trying to be as comprehensible as possible. How will the students feel? At what rate do we need to go? At what kind of things? How much should we express, etc. So I think it was part of that to make us feel like what it's like to be a student and also to maybe improve our teaching as well. So it was really our boss who made me do the challenge.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
still thanks for doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, now we would like to have a little conversation in Tokyo. I don't know what we're going to talk about. We haven't
Sure.
prepared this at all. But before we get started, I would just like to confirm exactly how you followed the challenge, just for the sake
Yeah.
of the experiment. So, of course, the baseline is that somebody who knows zero Tokipona comes and watches only these videos, one a day for 30 days, and doesn't study any Tokipona during that period, and then comes to this conversation having had no, conscious study or knowledge of Tokipona at all. That's the baseline experiment. So before you started with these videos, did you know anything about Tokipona? Did you look anything up?
I had never heard of it. The only thing I knew was that it was a language that had 120 words.
Gotcha. All right.
That's all yeah.
Okay. And then during the course, were you able to resist the temptation to maybe Google a couple of the words or something like that?
Yes, I did. And it was it was 30 videos, but I and it was 30 days, but there were days obviously that or not obviously, but there were days that I didn't do it because I was caught up with other life things.
Sure.
So I watched all 30 videos. Some videos I watched more than once. Like if I would watch it once and then maybe the next day or a few days later, I would go back and watch it again to confirm what I understood or didn't understand.
Right.
So I did a little more than 10 hours, but it took me more than 30 days to do it. I didn't look up any words. I did this with a group at work, and so we kind of had meetings about it, but and so we didn't say the word, this word means this, but we would think, oh, what is the story here? What is this going on? So there was like a little bit of discussion, but not so much like, let's make a list, let's make a dictionary. It was nothing like that.
Gotcha. Okay. So did you try having conversations between yourselves and Tokipona?
We did. So at the end of the 30-day challenge, we had our final meeting, and I think we try to speak for like maybe 5 minutes, probably less than that actually.
Okay. All
But
right.
yeah, and it was not conversation. It was like the words coming out and me like long, like it was kind of this kind of thing, you know.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
it was still something. It was still something. It was more than what we could have accomplished 30 days prior.
Sure.
So that's
Sure.
it's progress.
It makes the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's give it a go now then. Pona?
Okay. Pona ike ala taso pona piling pona ala piling pona.
Tenpo nila? Sina pilin pona? Taso sina pilin ala pona suli?
Lon.
Pona. Pona. Sina pilin pona tanseme?
Well, tempo suno kamala mi tawa ma cielo kama wawa.
Misona.
Nila mitawa ma S de S moku mi kama tomo mi moku mi moku tani mi pilin pona.
Pona. Sina tawa tomo pi wawa cielo anoseme.
Lon.
Lon. Sina kepeken ilo tawa wawa cielo anoseme.
Lon.
Lon. Ilo semeli pona tawa sina. Sina kepeken ilo luka anu ilo noka anoseme.
Tempo suno ilo noka. Ilo noka sule. Ilo noka sule.
Sina wawa e noka sina kepeken ilo.
Lon.
Pona. Tenpo kama ona la sina tawa tomo sina moku nililona no seme.
Wasomoku.
Wasomoku. Sina moku e wasomoku.
Moku e wasomoku.
Ma nion la. Sina lon ma niona no seme. Sina lon ma seme. Sina lon ala ma meweka. Sina lon ma nion.
Mi lon nihon.
Manion. Sina lon manion. Lon.
So.
Manion la mokuliante. Mokuliante tawa moku pima America. Nililona no seme.
Lon. Taso ma meika moku wasomoku moku e wasomoku ma lon wa moku e wasomoku.
Manion la waso moku lilon. Tasoken la moku niliante. Yani moku pima nion li pona tawa sina anu ike tawa sina. Sina pili neseme tawa moku pima nion.
Wait, sorry, one more time.
Manion la moku liante. Liante a. Utasina la moku pima nion li pona anu ike.
Sona ala.
Mamewika la moku li pona tawa sina. Anu seme. En moku pi mamewika li moku sina. Taso tenpo nila sina lon manion. Manion liante. Ale liante. Moku liante. Lon. Moku pi manion. Li pona tawa sina anu ike tawa sina.
Pona.
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 Lon. That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to leave it there. Okay, so what we'll be talking about?
So, first I was saying like I went to the gym today.
Okay.
And then after that I ate. And then I feel like you asked me like maybe the differences or like before I was in America, but now I'm in Japan, maybe the differences in food, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you asked me if I like the food here, like if it's good for me.
Right.
I think.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Okay.
That's cool. That's really cool. That's really cool. Because I'll tell you why. The first interview I did was with somebody who's Dutch, but who had a lot of experience with languages. So somebody could watch that and think, well, yeah, he's kind of a polyglot already. But for you, it's like you have an experience with Spanish, but a very traditional method with Spanish. And now in Japan, you're at a good level in Japanese. But I think it's good for a native English speaker to see somebody like yourself get to this level with just comprehensible input. I think that's a very interesting thing to see.
Yeah, it's certainly not I'm not Toki Pona Suli
No.
But you know, it's more than I was yesterday or the day before, the week before, or you know. So I don't know. My mentality is that if I just stick with it, you know, I'll slowly get better. But
10 hours is nothing. 10 hours of CI is nothing.
Yeah.
The thing with Toki Pona is 10 hours is just enough to have a measurable result like this. That does not mean that 10 hours is enough. I never claimed that 10 hours is going to be enough to make you completely proficient in Toki Pona, anything like that. But we're able to have a conversation like this, and I think that makes a point. So yeah, after you've done the challenge, now coming towards the end, has doing the challenge changed anything for you?
I think maybe not change, but it certainly impacted me. Certainly. There's a lot of noise when you're doing the challenge like this. And by noise, I mean like gray area. Like you don't know the word. Sometimes you don't know the words or the sentences for a long time, even if you have a vague feeling. But that vague feeling is very uncomfortable. It can be very, very uncomfortable. And so I think if somebody is watching this and they're more used to knowing what the words mean and going a little bit slower, they're going to be in a comfortable position. But I found that resisting the urge to look something up and instead using the resources, like I guess the processes in your brain, to make that leap from ignorance to understanding, that for me is like the equivalent of looking up a like using flashcards to memorize words. So I think that leap is important. It's uncomfortable, but it's a really cool thing, and you're kind of rewarded by it. When at first you're like, I don't know what this means, I have an idea, but you kind of keep going through it, and then sometimes consciously, subconsciously, of course, but consciously you're like, oh, now I know what this means. Oh, I finally get it. So that I don't know if that was a change, but it's now much more to the front of my mind now, and I'm much more aware of it. And I now look forward to Pablo from Dreaming Spanish. I look
Yeah,
forward to going through his videos with the
yeah,
same sort of positive mentality that no, it's okay if you don't know everything.
yeah.
You'll be slowly rewarded, whether you know it or not.
Right. And I think that's what I wanted to give people. It's like I don't understand the words. How can I know if this is a waste of time? Well, here's how you know if it's a waste of time. Can you get the point? You know, just immersion doesn't work either. It has to be comprehensible immersion, but comprehensible in the sense of following along with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So am I kind of following along with what's going on here and what people are talking about and what the purpose is? If I can work out what that is, then I can just let my brain do its thing. I want to give people that reassurance and confidence. So then in my book, that's a success, if that's what been your experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think using the fables was good. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any feedback, positive or negative, about the course in general? If it was you, what would you do differently? Or would you have any suggestions for somebody else who wants to try this kind of thing or make this?
Certainly, nothing negative, because I recognize that this was a passion project for you, and you're not paid to do this. So like anything you're doing is awesome. I thought you were a great man. I thought you were really comprehensible. Some videos are much more difficult than others, for sure, especially in the last 10. But I thought generally you did a great job presenting Toki Pona and making it easy for me to follow, and enjoyable at times. If I were to do something different, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it. That would be the different thing. Right? I just wouldn't do it. You did it. That's the difference. That's the significant difference.
Thanks.
To anybody who's like looking at doing it in the future, I would say just try it. Like just try being uncomfortable for 10 to 20 or 20 minutes a day and learning the language. And then after you complete it, like now I'll probably go maybe get the book and then look at some things and try to was this correct what I was thinking? Like I'll do that, but just like test yourself and see, and you'll have fun with the experience, and if not, you'll have learned something about you or something else. So I would say, yeah, just be uncomfortable.
Okay. Thank you very much, Andre, for making the time.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
been nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. So if you would like to check out these videos, as I said, go to YouTube and search for OPETP as one word, and you'll find the videos. And if you want to take the challenge, then the address is bit.ly/30DCIC. That stands for 30-Day Comprehensible Input Challenge. So thanks for joining us for this conversation, and all the best to you, Andre, with your plans for the future. And I hope you realize all of your goals with your language teaching. And thanks again.
Likewise. Thank you very much for having me, Joel. Take care.
A pleasure.